3, 2.
Hi everyone, this is January already. Amazing. You know, I've been hearing this phrase in my spirit for some time now. It's this: earth may be preparing for war, but heaven is preparing for a wedding. And I believe that that's exactly what's happening right now, is that there's a lot of turmoil that's going on in the earth, but there's a question that we need to ask, and that is, what are we going to focus on, or what are we going to behold or look at, pay attention to? Many times what we behold is what we become, either confused or fearful, or more in love and more taken in by the glory of God. You know, there's this Haggai 2 passage 6-9 that talks about that there will be this shaking in the heavens and in the earth, and then it goes on to say that they will come to the desire of all nations, and also that the glory of the latter house will be greater than the former. In other words, where we're headed is greater than what we've ever seen before, and I believe that with all my heart. It's similar to Isaiah 60 verse 1 and 2, where it talks about the arise, shine, for your light has come, the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. That deep darkness may cover the earth, but the glory of the Lord will rise upon you. So we've got darkness, we got light at the same time. King David, I think he's like this man after God's own heart, whose side job is to be the king of Israel. He said this in Psalm 27. He said, though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise against me, I will, in this I'll be confident. One thing I've desired of the Lord, and that I will seek, that I will dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and there inquire of him. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. You know, David was able to get lost in the beauty and his heart engaged with the Lord, that he wasn't distracted. He was aware of, but not distracted by the armies encamped against him. So, you know, it was interesting that our daughter Zoe, her wedding date was May 20th of 2020. And we were trying to say to her, hey, we think you need to delay this wedding because, of course, there's something called the pandemic going on where 200 guests is going to shrink down to 20. However, Zoe was so bent and determined that her wedding would go on the day that was scheduled. So there were 20 people at her beautiful wedding. And I remember just sitting there, and the Lord spoke something to my heart. He said, in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of shaking and chaos, the wedding will go on. It really struck me as a message of the fact that no matter what goes on around us, that our hearts are burning, just like Zoe was very focused on her wedding. You know, when the fire is in our hearts is to burn perpetually, of course it takes fuel. Any fire takes fuel and tending and, you know, logs and whatnot. And I've seen this, that when the fire in my own heart is dwindling, many times there needs to be some subtractions and there needs to be some additions. The subtractions may be things of like getting decluttered in my heart of unforgiveness or bitterness or offense, or, you know, walking in the orphan spirit. But there needs to be the additions of tending that fire with time in God's presence and in prayer, in his word, and just, you know, reveling at how he sees me or how he loves me. I love what Heidi Baker always said. She said, lovers always make better workers. And sometimes we need to actually pull back in our work in order to be with him, and that we would actually be better workers. You know, it says, is the Shema, known as the Shema in Deuteronomy 6, it says, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. And it goes on. In other words, when it's number one in the heart of God, it needs to be number one in our pursuit. And so daily abiding in his presence, daily being with him, causes the tenderness of our heart to increase. So worldly pursuits, they fall away and into that lake of oblivion, and the first becomes the first. So that's my cry for you, for me, for all of us this year of 2023. God bless you.